Hello everyone and welcome to the channel, and in today's video we're going to showcase how to set up your very own Minecraft server on Windows running 1.18.2 Paper. So in this video we're going to go ahead and go through step 1, downloading the Paper 1.18.2 server onto your Windows machine. We're going to go ahead and also go over installing Java. The 1.18 requires Java 17, so I'm going to go ahead and have the links to the Paper server and the Java version that you would require to run a 1.18 server linked in the pinned comment down below. So, and then we're going to go ahead and once we set up our server, we're going to go ahead and log into it with not only our own Minecraft account, but a secondary account, showcasing that we can kind of interact in our very own local Minecraft server. So with that said, if you guys are brand new here to the channel, definitely go down below, hit the red button to subscribe, make it gray, hit the bell to be notified every time we release a brand new video, and we go live here on the channel every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 10 p.m. Pacific time, so definitely tune in. Right now we're running a 100-day ultra hardcore challenge, so tune in to, check out that. And let's go ahead and get into the video. So we're going to be heading over to the papermc.io site. Links to here will be down in the pinned comment down below. In the top right corner, you're going to see downloads. Go ahead and select that. Depending on when you're going to be checking out the website, there will be a different update available. So here on the 11th, you can see that there's 4 different updates that were recently added to the Paper 1.18.2 system, the server files. So in this case, we always like to use the latest and greatest. So in this case, I'm going to use the update 241. I'm going to go ahead and select the update. Now I've already created a folder where I want all my information to kind of download to. So I'm downloaded all to the Minecraft 1.18.2 server. We can see our file name right there and select save. Now we wait a few seconds and our file is downloaded onto our computer. Now in this case, because we're on Windows, I'm going to go ahead and open and right click on that, show in a folder, and there we are. We have the Paper jar file downloaded on our Windows machine. Now in this case, I don't like to load this up directly. I like to use a batch file that I can allocate how much RAM I want allocated to my Minecraft server. In most cases, if you load it like this, it can use up 4 gigs, it can use up 2 gigs. I'm not sure what the default is. I think the default for 1.18 anything higher than 1.18 is 4 gigs. So sometimes you may not want to have a server running at 4 gigs because if your computer only has, say, 6 gigs of RAM, 8 gigs of RAM, that means half of it is allocated to your Minecraft server alone. So in this case, what we want to do here is right click into the area that you're going to have your jar file for your server. Go ahead and select new, select a text document, and we're going to go ahead and just say start server. Now let's go ahead and load that up. Now inside of our start server.txt file here, we're going to go ahead and start off by saying Java, do a space, then a dash. Now we want to set our minimum that we want to use, how much is the minimum RAM we want allocated to Minecraft. In this case, the minimum, which is the smallest amount, I'm going to have is just 2048 megs. That's basically 2 gigs I'm going to be allocating at a minimum to the Minecraft server. Now, the maximum, which is a capital XMX, is going to be, I'm also going to be setting that as 2048. I generally like to set these as the same, so the minimum and the maximum is going to be 2 gigs. So our Minecraft server will be using 2 gigs of RAM from our computer when we're hosting it from our own local machine. Now in here, just do a space, dash jar. Now here is where you want to enter the file that you're going to be loading up, the jar file specifically. So sometimes depending on whatever version of jar that you're going to be downloading or the update 241 or higher, just go to your folder wherever you downloaded it and highlight everything with the .jar at the very end and go ahead and paste that in here. So as you update your Minecraft Paper server file, you want to also update the name in here. Otherwise, if the name is not correct, it can't load that jar file and your server will not run. Now, after the dot jar at the very end, go ahead and do a space and enter a no GUI. Skip, hit enter, go to another line and just pause it. So the pause, if there's any errors in your script, it'll just kind of pause at the very end and wait for a manual input to close. So if there's any issues with your Minecraft server, it will automatically crash and close. It'll pause out and kind of showcase what the errors are. So in this case, we're going to go ahead and hit save, and we can go ahead and exit out of here. Now we have our start server file, but it's a text extension. So we want to change that to a batch file. That's a, it's a bootable or runnable file. So in this case, you're going to go to the extension txt, remove that, and replace that with a BAT, which is a batch file. Hit enter. It'll give you a little rename. Extension may become unusable. That's fine. Just hit yes. And after a few seconds, your text file, the little text style, will become a batch file, which is a runnable file. You can go ahead and see your preview on the right hand side, and you'll go ahead and hit that, and it'll begin to run it. Now, we can see here that the heap size set to a larger value than the maximum heap size. So, I see right here. So this is kind of what I'm showcasing. By putting that pause there at the very end, you can see here it's pausing. It's waiting for our input to close. So right here, I can read that there's an error. I forgot to include the megabit, the heap size is larger value than the maximum size. So we want to go ahead and exit out of here just by hitting a button, right click, edit. Now here at the very end, I forgot to put in an M. So this is kind of showcasing that our maximum was 2048 megabytes, which is 2 gigs, whereas this one was 2048 as the max. But without that M, it was just kind of megabits, I believe, or bytes, which is much smaller. So it's like 200 megabytes versus 2000. So it was allocating a lot less, which was why we were getting the error that the smaller number is larger than the maximum number. So go ahead and hit X, go ahead and hit save. Now we run this again, and we can kind of see that at this time, now everything is running smoothly. We're actually downloading from that .jar file. We should see that it's applying patches. It's kind of making sure that our system has Java.17. Now this is important. I didn't have Java 17 when I initially was going through this preview, and what I had to do is it provided me with a website. Now the website that it provided me with was the OpenJDK binaries for free site. I just went ahead and selected the 17 version because that's the version that I required. I went ahead and downloaded it as the latest release right there, and all I did was download it into the same folder that I had my Minecraft server. I ran it as an admin, installed it, and now I'm not getting that error any longer. So I will also have this link down in the pinned comment below with the server, the Paper.io website, along with the Java site as well. So if you're having any issues loading the Paper file, the most likely case is that the Java just needs to be updated, and I'll have that website there again. But in this case, our error is now new. It says that we need to agree to the EULA. So go ahead and hit enter, and that'll close this out. Go into your EULA right here, the EULA text file. Open that up, and you can read through this. You are also agreeing that tacos are tasty and the best food in the world. That is true. So here at the very end, the EULA, go ahead and set that to true. Go ahead and save that, and you can close this. And now we can go ahead and start our server once again. This time, we should see all of the remaining files download onto our Minecraft server. So we can see here on the left-hand side that the files are beginning to get more populated. Now, this right here is very important. Very important. If you're running on a Windows machine, you need to select at a minimum the private network. So this means that your internal private network, your home network, is going to open the firewall connections for you. This is what's going to allow you to have other people on your local network connect onto you. In this case, you can see right here, private networks such as your home or work network. At a minimum, you want this top one selected and allowed access. Otherwise, you will have to go into your firewall settings and manually set this process, which is a pain. And in most cases, I've had a lot of comments lately, which, if you go through this and you're going through this with the video, make sure you select the private networks. I don't usually set the public ones, and then just select allow access. Go ahead and punch in my admin because I don't run my computer as admin. You should never run your computer as an administrator by default. Always make yourself a local account and run it as a general user. It'll save you a lot of pains. And there we are. We can see that our server is up officially here. And we can see that the server is running. We can see that we're in survival. And all that information is displayed right there. So now what do we need to do? Well, we need to log on to our Minecraft server. So for here, I have 2 instances of Minecraft loaded up right here. And I'm going to go ahead and select multiplayer. We can see that our local server is now up. So locally, you can get on using the server address 0. Or what you can do is if you're having like a friend host your Minecraft server right here, wherever you're hosting your Minecraft server on your local network. So at your home address, if you type in IP, the IP address locally for my computer is 192.168.1.2. Generally, private networks are all 192.168.1. So your private network will be the exact same as mine, just with the integer at the end being a little bit different. So you can either connect using 0, you can connect using the IPv4 address. That's just the number you want to look for when logging into here. So in this case, I can actually highlight this, close this, and punch that 192.168.1.2 as my local and connect onto it just fine. Or over here, again, we can just stick with the 0 local address and hit done, and we can log into that just the same. Or you can even type in localhost, and that'll work just the same. So there we are. I'm on the left-hand screen. My son's account is on the right-hand screen. You can see here that we can both interact with each other. We can say hi, and it's going to go ahead and display on the left-hand side that it's saying hello. So there we go. We started up our very own Minecraft server. We're able to play on, together, interacting with each other. Now, if you don't want to have PvP turned on, what you would have to do at this case is go to your folders right here. Actually, before you mess with anything right there, stop your server by typing stop in your command prompt right there. This is where all your server information is running at right there. We can see here that we're logged on, and go ahead and hit stop. And our servers are closed now. You can see that as we stopped our servers, the server connection kind of shut down. It's saving our world everywhere, and our local host and connection was closed. Now, go ahead and close that. Go back into your folder. This is where you want to adjust your server properties. Say you're playing with some peeps, you don't want to have PvP enabled. You can go here into your PvP is true and set this to false. You can also go in here, set your difficulty to hard if you want to have the harder difficulty. Other things you may want to do is your view distance. Your server will limit your view distance. In some cases, people like to have a higher view distance. So you might want to bump this up to a view distance of 15 or 16. Down towards the bottom, you may want to be able to start building anywhere, not have any spawn protection. So you might want to set your spawn protection to 0. If you want to make your world really difficult, you may want to remove all villagers altogether, which would be the spawn NPC. So we can set this to false right here. So this is where you would go through line by line and set up different things. Go through each line, make sure that you are reading each one. If you have any comments about any specific one, Google it. That's the easiest one. But in this case, I'm just going to go ahead and save this. So all the changes that I've done, I'm going to go ahead and save it, close it, go back down to my start server file once again, go ahead and load that up. After a few seconds, if I refresh this, we can see our local server is offline. Whoop. Yeah, it's not going to allow us to connect there. And I'm going to go ahead and do that over here. It don't matter, whichever is the same. The local IP doesn't reset unless you restart the computer. If you're not assigned a static IP, then every time you restart your computer, your router may assign you at a different local IP. But we can see here the server is up. If we hit refresh, the server is up, and we can see here that we updated our message of the day. So here it says, hello YouTube, subscribe. So if you are not yet subscribed, definitely subscribe. We log on to the world. It's throttled right now because one of us is logging in. So it's going to throttle you a little bit. Go ahead. There we go. Now, guess what? I guess I didn't break earlier, but spawn protection would have prevented us from doing that. Also, I can't PvP anymore because we disabled PvP all through the server properties. So all of that was done very quickly, very painfully, and all that fun information. There we go. We're now interacting. We can still say hi. We can see it over here on the right hand side, and I can say hello back. And I can't, none of us can interact in PvP anymore. So that is going to be it for this video. We've officially set up our very own Minecraft 1.18.2 Minecraft server running Paper, and we were able to log on to it on our local network. So if you guys have any comments or questions, let me know down below. Drop me a comment, just say hello. If you guys don't have any questions overall, just say hi, nice to meet you if you have any questions. And again, if you guys have not yet subscribed, go down below, hit the red button to subscribe, make it gray, hit the bell to be notified every time we release a brand new video. And of course, we go live every week here, Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 10 p.m. Pacific time. So tune in for that, okay? Have a great day, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.